Hi everyone and welcome back to Love English. So today we're looking at the rules of silent letters. Shh. Now this is a bit of a complicated topic, but I'm not going to be alone in explaining this topic. I have someone to help me. So we have a special guest on our channel today, Emma from Pronunciation with Emma. So Emma, do you want to tell us a little bit about your channel and introduce yourself?
Hi Sabrah, and hello to everyone who's watching. My name is Emma and I'm from the channel Pronunciation with Emma. I know it's a very creative name, isn't it? But that's because I help English learners improve their British accent and pronunciation, or simply I just help them get accustomed to listening to British accents and pronunciation as well.
Now guys, what we are going to do is we're going to look at 15 words that you commonly mispronounce, and these are words that we hear mispronounced all the time. And we're going to look at the reason why you're mispronouncing those words, which is because they have silent letters in them. Emma, I have a question for you. If you saw this word for the first time, how would you say it?
So, Sabrah, when you sent me this word, I did laugh because when I was younger, I'm talking about when I was a child, I did pronounce this word as yacht for many years. I remember reading it in a book and I thought it was yacht. I said yacht for many years, and it wasn't until someone said the correct way, which is yacht, when I said, oh, hold on, I've been pronouncing it wrong. Now I pronounce it the correct way, thank goodness. But yeah, for many years as a child, I said yacht.
Yeah, I think I would say something similar too. So English is not phonetic, it's absolutely not phonetic. And this is why we have to learn the rules for how to pronounce words as much as we can, as they are very useful. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to us and also Emma's channel as well. The link is down in the description box. And also I made a video with Emma all about connected speech, the rules of connected speech. So be sure to go and check that out after this video.
So number one is island. Now here, whenever we have an S that comes after an I, we don't pronounce the S. So we don't say Island. I hear this a lot. We say island. Another example is isle and also isle. They're pronounced exactly the same way. So don't pronounce the S here.
So the next word is sword. Sword. Many people may pronounce this sword. Now, actually, the rule is that with the letter W, W is not pronounced if it comes before R. So this is the case in words like right, wrestle, wrist. W is also often not pronounced when it's with an H. For example, who, whose, whole, whomever. However, this is not always the case, as you have words like what and where W is pronounced. Other cases of a silent W include answer and to. Answer.
The next one here is not knife. I hear knife a lot, a knife and fork, but it's not, it's actually knife. Whenever you have a K and N at the beginning of a word, that K is silent. So I don't say knife, I say knife. Some other examples are know, knock, and knowledge. So that K is silent because we have an N coming after them and they're at the start of a word.
I'm going to give you two examples for number 4 because I've heard both equally mispronounced. One is climb and the other is lamb. And here we have a silent B. You don't need to say climb or lamb. Nothing like that. It is climb, lamb. So the rule for the letter B is that B is often not pronounced when it comes after the letter M. So for example, bomb, comb, tomb, thumb, crumb. Another rule for the letter B is it's not usually pronounced when it comes before the letter T. So words like doubt, debt, subtle. You cannot hear the B in those words.
The next one is muscle. So whenever we have this combination of S and C, that C is silent. Muscle. So not muscle or anything like that. Remove that C, remove the K. Muscle. Muscle. Some examples of this are scissors, fascinate, and science. Don't pronounce that C. Science, not science or skiance. I hear that a lot. Remove that K. It's just a S. Science.
Number 6 is castle. Castle. And this is the rule for the letter T. The T is silent in castle. You just completely ignore the T. The letter T is not pronounced in the following English words: Christmas, listen, fasten, bustle. Also some words that we get from French, like beret, ballet. Here the T is not pronounced. You can also pronounce often without the T as well, but some people do choose to pronounce the T. However, the more common pronunciation today is often.
The next one is Wednesday. Notice that I don't say Wednesday. Wednesday. Here the D is silent and it's only 2 syllables, okay? Wednesday. Wednesday. Now that D is normally silent when we have either an N afterwards or a G after it. For example, Wednesday, pledge, and grudge. The D is also not pronounced in the words handsome and sandwich. What tends to happen here is whenever you have a D sound that comes after an N, we tend to not pronounce the D. It's a bit tricky to pronounce it, so we just remove it. Handsome and sandwich.
Number 8, again, I'm giving you 2 because these are both equally mispronounced. Time and ice cream. Time and ice cream. Now be honest, have you ever said that final E? So said timey? Portuguese speakers, Spanish speakers, I'm talking to you. Now, the E is silent at the end of these words. In fact, E is generally silent when it comes at the end of words. For example, table, before, hide, right. We don't say that final E. Also, E is not usually said in ED endings. So in regular verbs which take the ED ending, for example, walked, talked, listened, they either take D, T, or id. Id maybe has a slight E sound in it, but still it is not really pronounced in the normal way that we would say E. So you can basically ignore the E in ED endings as well.
The next one is honest, and this one probably is the most difficult one to explain, so thank you, Sabrah. The letter H is usually silent when it comes after a W. For example, why, what, when, and where. So we don't pronounce that H. Don't try to say what or anything like that. It's actually really difficult. So don't pronounce that H. However, sometimes it is the other way around, and we actually pronounce the H, but we don't pronounce the W. For example, whole, who, whoever, and whose. I don't pronounce that W. They all start with a H sound. This time I pronounce the H. Now sometimes the H is completely silent at the beginning of words. For example, air, honest, and honour. Make sure that when you use these words, you use the article an. So you say an air, an honest, for example. Don't use a. Even though there is an H spelling there, we're going by the sound, and the sound we use is actually a vowel at the beginning of those words. So make sure you're using an honest person, for example, not a honest person. However, in general, most of the words that start with an H are not silent. For example, history, historical, and happy.
Number 10 is psychology. Psychology. And I remember mispronouncing this myself when I was a child. So this is the rule for the letter P. And normally if it's with a PS, it is silent. So we would say the S, not the P. Psychology. However, sometimes PH is pronounced as an F, such as paragraph, elephant, telephone. So we forget that PH and we say it as F. Other examples with the letter P are if it goes with an N, such as pneumonia. There we just say the N sound and we forget the P.
The next ones are though and through. Now the spelling GH is often not pronounced when it comes after a vowel. For example, in the words high, light, thought, and through. Notice that I don't pronounce any GH sounds, no G or H sounds here. Some exceptions to this rule are cough, laugh or laugh if you're from the south of England, and tough. All of these have a th sound at the end.
Number 12 is the word foreigner. Foreigner. Now you may have said in the past foreigner or foreigner, something like this, but actually the G is silent and it is foreigner. So the letter G is usually not pronounced when it comes before N. For example, align, sign. However, this is English, so there are some exceptions, and these are magnet, cognitive, signature.
The next one is salmon. Now typically we don't pronounce the L before the vowels A, O and U. However, there are some varieties where they do pronounce the L in salmon, but what I'm showing you today is what's considered RP. This is the standard way of pronouncing. It is the way that you will find it in the dictionary. Some examples are calf, calm, half, would, should, could, and yolk.
So the next word is ache, ache. You have a stomach ache, not a stomach atch or a stomach atcher. It is ache. Now this is a silent H, and CH can actually be said as a K sound. For example, archaeology, architecture, chaos, character. So silent H and that CH sound can be said as a K.
The next one is champagne. So here we don't pronounce the G. Whenever we have a G and N together in a word, we don't pronounce the G. So we say champagne. That's it from me. Thank you very much for having me on your channel, Sabrah. I will see you very soon. Bye bye, guys.
And that concludes our lesson on the rules of silent letters. So no more excuses now, guys. Don't forget to go and check out the video I did with Emma on her channel, which is all about connected speech. And a big thank you to Emma for joining us and helping me explain this slightly complicated area of silent letters. We'll see you soon on Love English, guys. Bye-bye.
Now sometimes the H is completely silent at the beginning of the oh my goodness.